Well guys, here we are in the garage again. And guess what's in the garage? Yes, the Z's in here. Why is the Z in the garage? Well, Z's in the garage because it needs a power steering pump. I've been kind of holding off a little bit on it. Had a small leak, and the leak turned a little bit worse. I mean, this morning I'm losing power steering and it's got fluid in it, so it's time to change the pump. Got a couple shows coming up, so I want to get it done for that. So let's get to it and see how hard of a job this is. Alright guys, show you where the power steering pump is on this 88Z. Right there. Right here on top, this is the whole power steering pump. See the belt. New power steering pump I got does not come with a pulley, so it doesn't come off. There's just a little bolt down there that takes it off. But guess we'll get this out and get the new one in and go from there. So if I remember right, it's been a while since I worked on the power steering on this. When I built the engine, I think that's a 14 millimeter bolt in here and down there. So we got a 14. See if you get it without an extension, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I worked on. Alright, so I do need a little extension. Doesn't have to be crazy, just a little stubby extension. On there. See if I can get to that bolt that's down there. I know some of these are hard. I remember I had to do I'm going to use a wrench on one of them. I think it was the top one here. Can't get my hand in there. There we go. Take it all the way out. And this is the one I believe I needed a wrench. See how it's not quite sitting on there right. Even with the hole lined up to it, it's still not perfect. So we're going to grab a wrench for that. Wrench. I might be able to go this way with it. Not. Yeah, it doesn't give you right. That bolts right up against the housing of the power steering. Takes a little at a time. Alright, so that's all loose. So what I'm going to do is ratcheting 12 millimeter. I'm going to go in the back there and loosen up that bolt down below. See if it starts moving for me. Something's starting here. One more bolt. And up here. Forgot about the one that's hidden up behind there. Of course, it's in an area that I can't get to. Let's see if we can try to turn that loose. So what we're doing is we're turning the pulley to the hole so that bolt will line up. Like that. Might have been easier if I got the reservoir out of the way, but if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
holding us up now. That bolt is loose. This bolt really don't have to loosen up. It's mostly for this hose that's right here. The hose. I just loosened that up while I was there. I got the one down below loose. And I think I did get the adjuster down below loose. I did. Yeah, that's the one that's holding me up. Is the one in the down below here. Just have to loosen it up a little bit more and then quite loosen it all, you know. That's it. This is the one I can't really get to. A little loose. How many of you guys have these and end up working on it all the time? Always something, right? Fun to drive, fun to look at. There's always something going on with it. She moves a little bit. I am hitting something. I'm not quite sure what. See, I'm going to go climb underneath and see what's going on. Alright guys, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the belt off. In order to get the belt off, down back here on the other side of these headers, at the very bottom there, see the alternator? Just above there, there's a bolt. That's the adjuster bolt for the belt. We're going to loosen that up. It's 12 millimeter. Up inside here, there's a bolt in that little hole at the bottom there, the pulley, and you have another one right here. So that's the first thing we're going to do is get working on that, loose that all up, and then hopefully it comes out pretty easy. Alright, didn't realize that the camera stopped recording, but there was another bolt that was down below, just on the other side of the pulley here. That went to the tensioner, I forgot to loosen up, and then of course then once I loosened it up, it moved. Belt's down there, I just dropped it off. So now we just take this plug off here. You don't have to. This is part of the line, but I just want to get out of the way. I have a pan down below to catch any fluid that comes out of this. I believe this is a 24. There it is. Yeah, you gotta watch. There's some copper washers on here you want to keep or replace. I'm going to replace them. I really should have took this out of the way. But I have Z-spec bolts in it, and some of them pain to get to. It doesn't have the regular bolts. You don't want to lose. So there's a washer here. Okay. On the other side of this bolt, you pull it. I always pull it out. The washer's on right there. See it? So that's a gasket. I got new ones I'm putting on there, so it didn't matter if I lost them. Some people like to reuse them. I like to replace them. All right, so I gotta get a Phillips screwdriver. There's a hose down below here. Has a fitting on it. So I'm gonna take that. I mean, I have other tools. I have, you know, ratchets or electric ratchets and stuff, and I just want to show you guys that you can do this without all that fancy stuff. Some of you guys might not have that. I just have one little car garage here that I build cars in and have fun in. I have a lot of tools. Like, I mean, I have tools, but nothing like very expensive. No tire machines, stuff like that. And of course, clamp is not coming apart for some reason. Get this hose off. I'm gonna get a screwdriver to pry that off. Let's try this. Big screwdriver here. There we go. I even have a new power steering line. Just thinking of replacing this, but I might have to replace that one because it's really, looking at it now, it's kind of dry rotted on there. Not liking the way it looks. Alright, so I only got one bolt holding this on here now, which happens to be right here. And there goes that. Just gotta go fish it out. Can't go up. Wasn't too hard. It's right there. What a mess. Gotta pressure wash this engine. I gotta detail this car up to underneath there. Refreshing the engine again. Been driving. It's basically almost like a daily driver. I drive it everywhere when I go somewhere. Paint's starting to fade under the hood. But I didn't want to just use it as a car show car. Just let it sit around. What's the fun in that, right? And like the sign on the window says, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. And that's all that matters. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I just care what I think. And I get mad when people go to car shows and say, oh, look at that piece of junk. Why is that here? Well, you know what? That guy loves that car. He put his time and money in that car. Hey, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. All right, let's see if I can fish this out of here. Maybe get that hose off from here. Whew. The hose is on there. I don't know if you guys can see that on this on here, but just back here, you can't really see, can you? But behind near my thumb here, there's a hose. It's on the reservoir right here, and it's stuck on it pretty good. Try to wiggle it off here. She's moving. Definitely moving. See what's going on is the clamp. It's got an old school Nissan regular clamp. It's not quite passing that point of letting this off. Secret, someone told me you take the wrench and you go around the tube of the actual pump, slide it behind there and pry, and boom, get off. I'll show you that a little bit better when I get it up here out of the way. What do you think? Alright, so. Okay, so here's the pump. Here's the pump. This problem I was having with this, once I got the hose off some, put this behind it and you pry, and it pushes that right off. Anybody have any problems with that? Alright. Alright, so there's the old pump. So, in order to take the pulley off, what I did is I took a screwdriver, slid it right through here. See that right there? Going all the way in. Have it snap on impact. You could use air, just keep your hands away from there. Stick it on there, off, with the bolt and nut, or the lock nut and the nut there. And you just slide this out. Look at this. There's the pulley. Then you can put it over to the new one. And we're going to do that right now. Alright, so here's the new one. Don't mind the phone, or the gimbal actually. It's giving me problems. Keeps zooming in and zooming out, and I don't know what it wants to do, but it's about ready to get fired. That's all I got to say. So, let's look at it here, make sure these are the same. We got just like this. It looks like I got to change over this hose, over this bracket, which pretty simple, over. So it's a little too bad. So let's get to it here. Oh, I need more room on my bench. All right, so this pipe here looks like it's a 12. Yep, 12 millimeter bolts on it. Yeah, I know I said I was going to do it all ratchets, but it just is more faster. Time is running by here. It's getting hotter out. I'm in Florida, so there's an O-ring that goes in here. This one has an O-ring. This one does. So I have a new one right here. So if I open this up without cutting the O-rings, that O-ring's gonna go right in there. You have that one. That's it. The son of a bitch. That O-ring doesn't come with this. That's what you get with remanufactured parts. Crap. Alright, so get this crap out of the way. After going through this rebuild kit from AutoZone, I bought this, actually when I bought the car, I was going to rebuild that last one, but decided on just getting a remanufactured one. I dug through there and found the right O-ring I needed, because this didn't come with one. This is the new one, and it needed it. Because the old one, which is right here, it's hard as a rock. So that's nothing but garbage now. So now let's move on. Thought I was filming, but I was getting aggravated with that O-ring. I was like, I can't believe that it didn't come with one, and then it turned into a headache trying to find the right one. I forgot I had bought that kit. I had to dig around the garage. My garage is a mess right now. I've been rebuilding some houses and other stuff, and just everything's all disarray. Big word for me, disarray, right? So we're just going to swap this over. Pretty cool. It's got the old Nissan. It's got VIN number and stuff, part number. Pretty cool. Another thing is with Nissans, especially the 88 Nissans. I don't know how it is with the other ones, with the Z's, but the power steering fluid is actually transmission fluid. You use Dexon transmission fluid. When I changed the rack, people were saying, "Oh yeah, your transmission fluid was clear when it came out." Yeah, it was. I knew that right off the bat. That's probably why the rack failed. And when I did the rack over, I put transmission fluid in it and never had a problem. Well, except for when this was failing. But I knew this was failing. This actually, there's really nothing there anymore. Something definitely broke inside there. I could just spin this like nothing. So I know that it does get transmission fluid. And the funny thing is, when I bought this car, it came with a record, like a thick record of every service ever done in Nissan. And they were the last ones to work on the power steering, and they're the ones that put power steering fluid in. So just going to the dealer all the time does not mean you're getting a good deal. Came with a new lock washer. I'm going to use it. At least I'm going to do the same thing how I did it.
Slap that like that. Slap this in here. I definitely feel the difference in that one. This one spins like nothing. Grab my. Not gonna really crack down on that, and there it is. The power steering pump ready to be installed. And this one gets tossed. Well, actually, that's a core. I get to set it back. So there we go. All right, put the power steering pump back in the way it came out. Just boom, boom, boom. Got the adjuster hooked back up under here. The bolts are all just snug. They're not tight. Put a new clamp on the hose down there, like I said. That old style clamp sucked. And then right now I'm just going to tighten this up. Just want to snug it a little bit, and then we'll adjust that adjuster to where it'll start as that one. Bottom one's a pain. And of course it's a different size. So I've got two different sizes. The top bolt is actually a 14. And the bottom ones are actually 12 because they get a bracket that's under there. I hope this is helping somebody out. I mean, it's not the best video. I can't really get in there and show you too much. It doesn't really zoom in, and ain't much room in there. It's a Z. What do you expect, right? I mean, I don't have a crossover pipe in the back. I have headers on this, so I'll give you a little bit more room in the back. But in the front here, I actually added more stuff. My Z did not come with a shroud or a fan. It had electric fans on it. And when I did it, I live in Florida. I need to have a little bit, make sure it's running cooler. So I added a mechanical fan, which is actually a clutch fan, and the shroud. Went to a junkyard, actually got lucky, found one there. It's not too lucky finding a lot of Z's in the junkyard. Usually they're out of the way, or someone else just picked through them, but this one actually was pretty neat. It was all there, basically. I was actually curious why the Z was in the junkyard in the first place, because it was all there. So, but I got that shroud, and I got the fan. So right now I'm going to adjust the adjuster up. So make sure that this belt is nice and tight. I don't want a squeaking belt. Squeaking belt sucks. So I'm just going to adjust it. A little bit more. Still a little bit of play in it. Alright, there it is. Perfect. Not too tight, but tight enough. So now we'll go around and I'll tighten up the bolts. Make sure they're nice and tight. And then we'll put the last hose on and then fill her up with transmission fluid, not power steering fluid. I just, like I said, the dealer had put power steering fluid in this before I had owned it. And we don't want to do that with this. What fun it is to work on a Z though. Alright. Where I live, I don't see many of these. I see 350s, 370s. I don't see a lot of Z31s. I think I've seen maybe two in the time I've owned this one. And one guy was actually moving to Georgia, so probably don't see that one anymore. But I'm sure if I go over to Central Florida, like Ocala area or Orlando area, there's probably more over there. But I never get over that way. I don't think this car's ever been over that way. Farthest I go is Sanford, Florida, when I go to work. Take it to the shop. Once in a while, and do it every day. And then we go up to Daytona for Turkey Ride Run, which I'll be there this year filming. Alright. So that's nice and tight. So now,
get you guys in there so you can see. Here it is. So remember this hose. You want to always remember those gaskets, which I have. 2 brand new ones. So we'll set those up there real quick. So then, lighting sucks too. It's 1-car garage, but hey, it's better to having no garage. I've done that before too. This hose back underneath here. Alright, so get that lined up with that, and we'll get the put you back in the folder here. Hands are greasy. Sorry. I'm going to put these washers in, the first one. Once I find where to put the last one. So I'll drop one on like that. So, and that's going to go on top. And make sure we're on the bottom. Save on the bottom. Start screwing it on. Man, I really do have to repaint the engine bay though. It's, looking at it here, it's really kind of dirty and disgusting. Some of the paint's faded, some of it's peeling. Like I said, it's been driven, and in order to do that I have to take it apart again, and I really don't want to do that because I like driving this. I have other projects I want to get done. Alright, so that banjo bolt's going to be nice and tight. There we go. Let's plug this back in right here. Make sure I didn't disconnect any of the fan wires up here. And we're all back together. Next thing to do is to fill it up. And then start it up. Alright guys, I topped off the power steering fluid right here. Might have put a little bit too much, I'm not sure. We're getting ready to fire up. Here's the power steering pump. All nice and dry. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I might have put a little bit too much in there. We'll see. I went back to back already with it. I don't see no leaks. It's pretty dry. Alright guys, power steering pump is all done. Z's running good. Time for some car shows. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and ask. Like I said, make sure you put transmission fluid in there, not power steering fluid. Specs are transmission fluid. And you shouldn't have any problems. Hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. If you guys want some merch, let me know. I have some shirts and some hats made up, so just hit me up, let me know. Thanks for watching.